So from ages birth through 6, I was with my biological parents. Never met my actual real father. My little brother's dad is the one that was around when we were still with him. Mama was real young. She was only like 14.
Your mother?
Yeah, when I was born.
Really?
There was a lot of drugs and violence. Not a whole bunch of abuse with us kids. Not physically. Just watching some of the things that happened. And I mean, with my with my brother's biological dad, from putting guns in my mom's mouth, to beating her all over the house, to that. And then when we wasn't around him, she would be with whoever had the biggest dope sack. You know what I mean? The biggest amount of drugs, whatever. And then it would finally get to the point where she'd either take all the dude's stuff, or the dude would get tired of us and start beating on us, or start beating on her from one side of town to the other. And then when it wasn't that, she would leave us for somewhere for like 3, 4, 6 months at a time. She always, you always fall asleep on her purse, or tried not to fall asleep when she was around or in the car, because you knew that if you woke up, you wasn't gonna wake up with her, and it's gonna be months until you saw her. Well, finally, somebody in the biological family.
So you were afraid to go to sleep because if you did, she may be gone and leave you.
Yeah, for months at a time.
Okay.
Finally, somebody in the biological family got tired of it and called in on her, and DHS stepped in. Well, when DHS stepped in, there was me. I'm the oldest of the 3. There's me, and my little brother, and the youngest sister. DHS stepped in. We went to foster care for 2 or 3 months, and then a cousin of ours that came and got us. This lady came and got us because that's where my sister was. Well, we stayed there for 2 or 3 months, and then she realized that she didn't want us, so she kept our little sister, and then she dropped us back off at the home. I got introduced to a couple of Mexicans, started picking up large amounts of dope for them. I get paid meth by it, for it, making cash for it. Ended up getting strung out with heroin. And I mean, I get a weird feeling just then. I'm like, man, because I have court the next day. I'm pretty sure it's over with. I don't know why, because I'm just be showing up for my lawyer to withdraw. I'm like, something's wrong, something's over with. So they call my name, I stand up. As soon as I stand up, the judge that I cussed out prior to this is like, go ahead and put your hands in front of you, you're under arrest. And I'm like, oh no. She's like, you have a $500 warrant on Tulsa County. I'm like, oh, that ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? My bondsman's got me then. So I got lucky that I ran into a guy that I went into prison before last time at Tulsa County when I went to go take care of some charges with this. He was like, man, you look different, you act different, you speak different. And I said, man, let me tell you about my Jesus. Let me tell you about what's happened for me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not about that life no more. I'm about something else. Let me talk to you about him, this, that, and the other. And that's the other thing that I noticed, that when people were coming up to me and they weren't on the same wavelength or the same path, they'd be like, hey, you want to get high, or hey, you want to start talking about this, that, and the other. I'd be like, hey, let's talk about this. And they would immediately leave.
Right.
They'd feel awkward about it, or they'd just leave, and they'd just leave me alone after that. You know what I'm saying? All I'm doing is trying to give you a gift.
That's right.
If you don't want it, I understand. Well, I did 2 months of A&R, and then I'm sitting 2 months at Hodgins. So this is probably 14 months after I told her about B&H.
Right.
Victoria works at a steakhouse in Sand Springs called Colton's, as you know. She's been working there for years. She's not, when I say she loves me, she loves me. She's not embarrassed by me.
Right.
Like I said, she's fought tooth and nail for me. So she's talked to me about me, talked about me to her customers. So she's got regulars that come in that she talks about all the time. They're like, hey, how's your husband doing? When's he getting out? How's your husband doing? When's he getting out? Well, she sits at a table one day, and it's one of her regulars. And he was asking questions, saying, how's your husband doing? When's he getting out? What's he doing for work? Or what's he going to do for work? And that's when Vicky starts telling this gentleman about B&H Construction, and that's what he's looking forward to. Well, this gentleman that she was talking to was Kent.
Yeah.
And she didn't know what he did, and he was like, sweetheart, let me tell you something. Do you know what I do for a living? She's like, no. And he's like, I hire. I'm in charge of that over there. Slid her a card across the table and said, if he wants a job, he's got one. interviewed me 2 months later, got me out of the pen into here on parole. By the way, I'm off of parole now.
It just gives our hearts joy to know that this has changed your life. This is what Ronnie and Donnie have been about. That this is the very reason that Ronnie and Donnie do what they do every day, man. And blessed as we have been. And so I want to tell you, thank you so much for allowing us to do this interview with you today. Just the smile on your face, the smile I see on Vicky's face is so rewarding. And I want you to know I love you, I care about you, and I'm looking forward to what God's going to do for you in the future. That's so exciting. And thank you so much.
Yep.